Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new season of Rebuilding Stockport. The transfer pimp is back. I've actually had to zoom the camera out this time because this hat is taking up so much of the screen. Not only that, I'm having to wear the hat sideways because if I don't, it flops down over my face, and I mean, to be fair, that might improve the videos in some way. Anyway, if you don't understand why I'm in a pimp suit, then I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll just have to try and figure it out for yourself. Before we get into anything else, I actually forgot to do this yesterday. It's time to thank patrons. And this week, we've had Storm Arthur upping his pledge. So again, fantastic name and fantastic from you, Farron. That's really, really awesome. Thank you so much. Just having that little extra money on the side to enable me to invest in things like pimp costumes and, of course, this camera, just to improve the videos that little bit. I think it's been really, really nice just to not have to worry about money with things like that and to be actually able to invest into the channel a little bit more than I was able to before. So I really can't thank each and every one of you guys over there enough. I really, really do appreciate that. It's awesome. And of course, everyone just watching the videos. We seem to be doing just fine on that one too. So I'm enjoying it and I hope you are as well. My hat's already falling apart. This is a bad sign, lads. Now, a couple of bits of admin before we get into signings and oh, I've had a fun window. Oh, I've had so much fun. I'm just going to say this now. Our transfer outlay in terms of money going out for transfers, and that does include stuff in the future as well, because that's just the way it calculates it, for this summer is £86 million. I believe we're the top spenders in the Premier League if you count all of that. I know we didn't have that much transfer budget, but I was able to move some money around. Firstly, because we had too much on the wage side, and secondly, because when it came to the expectations, the board had me fighting bravely against relegation, so I changed that to simply avoid relegation battle, and they gave me like another £10 million in transfer funds. So that's been very useful, it's fair to say. The other thing is, we got some massive-ass new sponsors, one of which was a telecoms company, or so the game told me, that's worth £4 million a year for 5 years, so £20 million in sponsorships. But I also noticed when I went to this screen, we've got 3 more new sponsorships. I believe they're all new. Yeah, it looks like they are brand new. That are going to bring us another sort of 70 million over the next few seasons. And I'm a fan of that, to be honest. Stockport are going up in the world. Also, it said that it was going to bring the Stockport brand to the world. I really want to know what that brand is right now. I think it has something to do with Bruno Bridges. Bruno Bridges is the Carl Rogers Jr. of this save. Not the highest rated, but God does he play his heart out for the shirt. Bruno Bridges is probably verging on being one of my favourite players in the history of any FM series I've ever done. Purely because of the character you guys have created around him. Now he's in the YouTube comments, which is even better. But not just that, in the sense that his story of redemption over the last season, you can't write that stuff. I can't believe that he was actually able to put those performances in the Premier League last year. It's fantastic, and that's why I love FM, because it throws up stories like that, you know. And honestly, I think he's going to get game time this year as well. More on that in a minute. The other thing is, some of you that watched the analysis video would have seen right at the start that we're having our stadium extended yet again up to 19,000, which is dope. However, that does mean we're now sharing a stadium with Bolton this season. However, it means we're actually getting more people to our games this season, potentially, because we're playing at the University of Bolton Stadium this season, certainly through till a certain point. So that's pretty damn cool. We're going to get some pretty large attendances this year for Stockport County, and that's good. And lastly, we've had virtually no transfer bids for our players in this entire summer, and I don't know why. Usually we're being bombarded with them, and haven't signed that many to new contracts. A couple, like Regan Booty's got a new deal, which actually puts his wages down, because apparently he was up for that, so there you go, Regan, cheers, take one for the team. Without further ado, let's get into transfers. We've got an absolute metric butt ton of transfers to talk about. Some outs, some ins, lots of ins, and I've also given faces to some of the key players in there too already, so we've got a nice looking squad to start the season, and I am raring to go today as we travel to the worst team in the history of the Premier League survival. It's Brighton. So Slobodan Basic has gone out to Vojdovac, as you probably knew already, 1.5 million. I've just turned off the comparisons here, so you don't see any of the players I've signed while I'm showing you who's left, because that would spoil stuff. Jordan Osei Tutu has left to join St Johnston on a free transfer, no real shock there. Edgar Palomino has come in, as you would expect, 600-something thousand pounds he joined us from Millonarios, which is fine, but unfortunately no work permit. But, that being said, he's a bloody good player, and he's going to be playing in the Spanish third tier this season. I expect him to absolutely rip it up for our affiliate club. I could see him single-handedly winning them promotion this season if he plays as well as I think he could play. 16 passing, 17 vision, great tackling. There's a lot to like about this lad. Vashon Nerfil has left. He's the biggest player leaving. £2.2 million to QPR, 50% of next sale fee clause. I just didn't think there was room for him in the team anymore, and it was about time he moved on for the good of his career. Over 100 appearances for us in the league. Fair play Vashon. Regan Poole gone to Chesterfield, 275 grand. It made sense for him to leave. And the last permanent out signing is Sol Bryn, £35,000 to join Bristol City. He made one appearance for Stockport in the league in his time here, but he was really only ever supposed to be a backup. Right, there are some loans out as well, but I'll show you those after I've shown you the other transfers, so I can show you them on the big screen rather than having to go through each one individually, and I don't want to spoil things. Right, I can turn the comparisons back on again. And the first player in is one you guys already knew about. It's Talha Kanmaz. He has joined the club. He's got 1 cap for Turkey already at the age of 18, and honestly, I think this guy is a monster. Now, obviously Morgan Roussel and Cardo Makango have been fantastic, but I really did just want to give us a bit of extra strength, and obviously this is a signing from last year. It's cost us nothing in this summer at all. He's great. 15 heading, 16 marking, 15 tackling. What's not to like? He's listed as a wonder kid. He's got decent physicals already, 6'5". Not bad mental stats either, to be honest. For such a young player, he's actually not too bad in that. And I think he will grow into something pretty monstrous this year with Roussel and Cardo Makengo. And still, we've got some other players in those positions too. So it's still looking pretty good. Now, you might also notice that his current ability looks lower than it was before. And some of these might also look a little bit lower. There is a reason for that. Or rather, there is a single player that is a reason for that. I'll be showing you him last because I can't believe we've signed this guy. Next up is a very, very young signing. This is one for the future. This is Nicholas Taffertshofer, or Taffertshofer. It's a very, very cool name either way. He is a defensive midfielder. I actually signed him up earlier in the window. He's only cost us like £100 and something thousand. He is a very, very young player with a lot of room to grow, it's fair to say. Probably go him out on loan this year or something like that. It's weird that he's so bald at 16 though. Next up, Albert Aznar is a Spanish centre-back who we brought in from Espanyol of all teams. Now, okay, he's a mercenary, and he's not bad. He's 6'4". He's just sort of more bulk to that pile because I felt like the deal was right in terms of the money. Not because we needed a player in this position, but when the opportunity to sign him came up, I just couldn't turn it down. I think he's all right. And he only cost us £160,000, and that's the main reason I brought him in. For that price, you cannot argue. He's already, like, quadrupled in terms of his value, and he's Spanish. I feel like we can sell him on for more than that at any point. Next up is Thomas Mathiasson, who's come in from FC Midtjylland. He was quite demanding in terms of what he actually wanted in order to join us, even though he's not fantastic, to be perfectly honest. This is Ingo Seiferings. He is a right back, and I've struggled so badly for right backs. That was my one position I wanted to try and sign anyone, and I was going after even like real players that are like 26, 27, even though I didn't want to do it. Firstly, the wages that they wanted were sometimes astronomical, and most of them wouldn't even talk to us. We're still in a real problem with reputation. However, I did find a guy that I was desperately after. He played for Nautico over in Brazil, and he was rated 5 stars, like potential and current ability, and he was an absolute beast. I'll just quickly show you him now because he did join Inter in the end. This is Yakir, or however you pronounce that name. This was the guy I was after. I saw him and I thought he was an absolute monster. And he had a release clause. We triggered the release clause. It was £12 million, and he just wouldn't talk to us. We did all the tricks in the book. We went and watched him. We set him as a top transfer target. I got my director of football to try and go after him. Everything, but nothing could convince him to join us in the end. It's a real shame because he was the right back that we wanted. He was the Bednar of the right back slot. He would have been perfect. He's 29 years old. He's one of those weird regens that appears when you turn leagues on sometimes, and it has to populate the teams. And he was just an absolute beast, and Inter got him for like 14 million in the end, I think. Such a shame. Next up is our goalkeeper. It's Wilson. Yes, that's right. The ball from Castaway. I said I wanted to sign a goalkeeper, and we did. I think he's better than Malden in every possible way. There was another guy I was looking at who had better eccentricity and was a better sweeper keeper, but this guy still got a decent first touch. He's just better than Malden, basically. He's cost us £12 million, which is quite a lot, I grant you, and he's on decent money, the Brazilian, but we just needed someone a lot better than Louis Malden, and I do think this guy does that down to a T, and he's still got room to grow after all. He is only 21 years old. You know, £12 million is a lot to spend on a goalkeeper, but I felt like it had to be done, and now it is done. Next up was also Nenad Mitrovic, who's come in from Partizan. I just like signing the Serbian players. I basically signed him because the deal was too good to turn down. £500,000 for a player of a reasonable quality. I couldn't say no. You know what I'm like with these guys. Next up is Petar Pusic. He's a real player, I know. He is a defensive midfielder. I wanted to bring in another one. We did bring in another defensive midfielder on a real transfer as well, but when there was 15 minutes to go in the window, I noticed we had a few loan slots available. I thought, you know what? Let's just see if we can get anyone in the last 15 minutes, and we were able to pick up Petar Pusic for the year on loan from Grasshoppers. He's not bad, really. We've just really struggled to find anyone quality in that position, and I think we're going to have to rely on bringing through our own defensive midfielders at the moment because none of the good ones would talk to us. Next up is, ironically, our biggest transfer outlay of the summer. This is Charlie Dyer. Now, I know that his current ability and potential might not look amazing, but I was more interested in the stats he actually has for being a defensive midfielder, which is, after all, what he's going to be doing. And I think he's absolutely fantastic. Apart from his aggression being a little bit on the low side, he's got a resolute personality, decent physicals, he's 6'2", great tackling, good marking, amazing work rate, he's brave, he's got a lot of things that I like, basically, and I think he'll actually be a much better player than the star ratings would suggest. He has cost us 20 million in total from Sheffield United, 10 mil up front and 10 mil over the next 3 years. It's a lot, and it's the most we spent on a single player. And here he is. This is Pedro. What? How? This is Pedro. He's 5-star in this team. The reason everyone else looks so crap is because this guy is in our team. He's cost us £16 million. £16 million to bring in a guy of this quality to Stockport County. He played for Nautico again. I found this guy while I was watching the other guy, which is the best thing about this. He is an attacking midfielder, sure, and you're going, but you don't play that role. Ah, you're right, we don't. But he could play inside forward on that left-hand side or play in the centre. This guy is the real deal. I mean, I'm trying to think. His natural fitness is the only thing that's lacking in him a little bit. He's got good physicals for the most part, good dribbling, good finishing, great free kicks, great passing, great technique, great teamwork, vision, work rate. For £16 million, I think this guy is an absolute boss and is a step up on just about any player we've ever had in this team. Yes, he's on enormous money, as you can see. The first time I tried to go for him, he wouldn't sign for us, but I managed to move some money around, and he is on nearly £90,000 a week. But I would happily pay £90. He's got a release clause of well of like £70 million, which is a shame. And a lot of the players we've brought in have insisted on release clauses, which is not great. But I've had no choice, unfortunately. I'm super pleased with this guy. He's not even super short either. It's not like he's a really diminutive kind of player. He's very good, gets forward whenever possible, arrives late in opponents' areas. He is fantastic. Now I can show you some of the other midfielders to get away with this. So this is David Akwebu. He's a German central midfielder. We've picked him up. Oh my God, what was the price on him? 3.3 million from Wolfsburg. He wanted to leave. I don't know why, but he wanted to join us. And I mean, I know he's got the fickle personality, but the passing, the vision, this guy is a really good deep line playmaker. And I wanted someone that could give Andy Davidson a bit of a run for his position in the team, to be honest, and also allow us to rotate if we get a bit of a rest. Plus, there's an excuse to use this wonderful hairstyle. So this is David Akwebu. I think he's freaking awesome. I might be pronouncing his name wrong. Someone do let me know about that as well. Also, rumours for these players. This is the biggest batch of players we've had in a long time, so let me know rumours about these guys. I think we've got a really eclectic bunch, and there's one that's even more eclectic coming up. This is not him. As you can tell, this is David Mello. He's coming from Standard Liège. Now, I was a little bit unsure about this one because I felt like we were paying a bit more than we needed to for a player maybe of this quality, because obviously Standard being a fairly high profile side, it was going to be difficult. But he is only 17 years old. Now, he's cost us in total £13 million, which is quite a lot for a 17-year-old. But I felt like there was a lot of room for this guy to grow, and he already has amazing vision. I feel like he's definitely going to get a lot better. I also brought in this guy. This is Julio Trombetta. He's an attacking midfielder. He cost us £2.2 million from Spezia. It's not a huge outlay, but again, he's got reasonably decent stats. He's very young and has got a long time to improve, maybe a loan spell at some point. It's just more bodies for the youth conveyor belt to really improve our underage teams as well, and he'll certainly be doing that. And finally is this guy. This is Anda Abasolo. I thought we'd just make this guy an absolute bit of a rebel, basically, with his neck tattoo and his bleached white hair. This guy, I saw him and I thought, oh, he's pretty damn good. We could bring this guy in as an option on that right-hand side with Zé Maria and John Okoro, because John Okoro, he's just, I just don't think he's cut out for this league anymore. He's more of a backup player to us. But it's the fact that this guy is a first-team quality player for us. He's really good, and he costs £1.7 million. I don't know how. I think he either a release clause, I don't think it was though. I think he just asked to leave and made Real Sociedad sell him for basically nothing, and we swooped in there and picked this guy up, because why would we not do that? He's still only 21 years old. You know, he's already worth £7.25 million and only cost us 1.7. I feel like we've spent a bit more than I would like in some areas, but we've made so much money on some of these really cheap deals, in theory, that I'm pretty happy with the business overall. I think we've really strengthened the squad this time round. Because our players out, you can see Kipper has gone out on loan, Palomini, you know that, Misic has gone out on loan, Tegot too, Mensah gone out to Bournemouth, Leckie to Gillingham, my son to Telford United, Chris Cox has gone to Wigan, Palmer's gone to Nottingham Forest. He's banging goals in for teams when he plays for them, so I figured we'd give him a chance there. Grimshaw to Bradford, Simon Ford to the team we're sharing stadium with, Bolton, and Niall Ennis has gone out on loan to Hull City. They're amazingly the favourites, despite being the worst team in the history of the Premier League to stay up. I'm going to keep saying that because it's true, but we won't mind being the underdogs in this situation, will we? Right, so we're going to have to rearrange this massively. I think that's probably what we're going to go with to start things off, but we've got options coming out of our ears at the moment, and that pleases me. Do we want to start Mello or Puimal? Puimal's not fully fit yet, so Mello might have to start. 17 years old, my lord. Just got options for days here. I know these might look worse, but remember, Pedro is making everybody look worse. So I think that's probably the lineup that we're going to go with for now. Baiza, Pedro, Abasolo, Melo, Akwebu, Dyer, Bednar, Roussel, Talha, and Serafings with Wilson in goal. I think we've definitely improved this team. Like, there is a lot of players that we've signed in the summer that have slotted straight in, which means we've still got a fantastic bench. Let's sort that out now. So on the bench, we're going to go with Okoro, Dimitrov, Davidson, Booty, Makengo, Turil, and Miller. That bench has like 5 players or 4 players that would have been our starting 11 last year. So that shows you how much we've strengthened. Now watch it all fall apart today against Brighton. Right then, let's just get into this. Also, Owen over on the Patreon, since Louis Molden basically isn't going to be playing for us much more, you might want to pick a different player to sponsor. It's up to you, but if you do want to do that, let me know. I've just noticed that we've got a full team of regens for the first time in this save. That's dope. And the only one of them that doesn't have a proper face is Serafings, and I didn't want to give him one, or Seferings rather, because he is only on loan. So that is a pretty cool looking team for us. I think we could do something this year. I think there's a chance that maybe a European push. That's right, I'm actually saying it. I just want to see what they're capable of today. I just feel like we've strengthened in every single needed area apart from right back, although I do still think that Seferings is better in that area than, for example, KitKat is. And we've still got Bruno after all. Bednar slips it across to the back post nearly, and already Baiza's in. Oh, Akwebu, can he slip it through? He finds Abasolo! Great strike and a great save from Blanco. Good chance, Stockport. Akwebu on the edge of the box here, flicks it across, and it's, oh, what a save that is from Blanco. And Baiza should have made that 1-0. We're creating a few chances now, nice to see. Wilson clumping it outfield. Baiza knocks it down. This is lovely football. Melo, Pedro. Options are, what a ball! Oh, what a chance that was. That should have been 1-0. Won again by Bednar. Look at the pace. Over the top for Pedro making his run in. Can he score on his debut? Pedro! Yes, he can! Pedro, Brighton 0, Stockport 1, and we look fantastic. I know it's only Brighton at this point, but that's still, look at this from Bednar. Picking it up, driving into the space, and what a ball that is in behind. Pedro with that extra pace. One touch to set himself, puts it in the bottom corner. Goal on his debut in the Premier League. Brighton 0, Stockport County 1. We deserve that by miles. Coming all the way through, and Dyer just mops it up nicely. Wilson. Oh, what a ball out from Wilson. Molden, that would have gone straight to their defender. You've got to feel like. Abasolo, Baiza, can he slip it through for someone? He's got runners left and right. Bednar coming forward. Can he find the cross? He has given us a penalty. Right. Who will take it? Bruno, unfortunately, not on the pitch. I would give it to Pedro, but I want to give it to Baiza because I want him to have that extra confidence from scoring a couple of penalties this year, basically. Josef Baiza steps up, and it's saved. Of course it bloody is. Well, that's my fault. I should have just left it to Pedro, really, but what a first half. The fact that we actually created 4 clear cuts and 3 half chances. The thing that I love about this is it's not just we're having shots, we're creating unbelievably high quality chances, and we just need a little bit more cutting edge. Ball across, and Seferings will bring this away. Abasolo, he's got Pedro into the space. He might arrive a bit later, though. Baiza can slip it through. Does Pedro, one touch, and it's 2-0. I mean, Pedro this season, if that ball is going to be on as much as it could be, I could see Pedro netting 20 goals for us this season if he carries on like that. That is absolutely superb. Wonderful breakaway, wonderful goal. When Abasolo puts this inside for Baiza here, you know exactly who he's going to try and pick out. Slips it through, one touch from Pedro. It's 2-0 to Stockport County here, away at Brighton, and we deserved it massively. Yes. Actually, no, we're going to bring Liam Miller on up top here. I know we've got that option now, and it's nice to have that option to bring him on as a striker if we need to. Baiza again. Can he find Pedro? He might. Pedro, one touch. Oh, he couldn't bundle it over the line. That looks like it's going to be a lot here. A 2-0 win. Opening day of the season, away, okay, it's at Brighton, but the chance creation in this game was phenomenal. 2 goals for Pedro. It probably should have been a hat-trick had I let him take the penalty, but what a way to mark your debut in the Premier League. We got the win. We looked phenomenal. It's probably the best performance I've seen for us in years, and that is saying something, because we played well at times last year. I kind of want to do Man City as the next game, but it would be a huge chunk. I mean, it'd be 7 games off camera is a bloody lot. But I kind of do want to do Man City as the next live com, so you guys can see us play against City at home this season. Actually, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do the Watford game away as the next episode, and then after that, we'll do Leeds off camera, and then we'll do a double live com of Spurs and Man City, because then you get 2 massive games instead of just the one, and I think that'll make it a bit more sense. Otherwise, we're doing a little bit too much off camera, because there actually could be 8 games in there if I did that, because of the League Cup 3rd round, potentially. So yeah, that's what we're going to do next episode. Watford away from home. In between there, we've got Stoke, West Ham. Those are both winnable games. Liverpool, a lot tougher. We could easily have, I think, 7, maybe even 9 points if we pull our luck right during those matches. And as long as Pedro stays fit, I think we're going to have a bloody good season this year. I really do. I think he's got a goal bonus that's like 900 grand, so we've got to be careful there. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this and you're looking forward to the new season, drop a like on the video. That would be bloody fantastic, for the pimp suit, of course. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see more like this in your inbox every single day, subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. And I'll see you guys in the next episode for an away game at Watford, where hopefully we can continue this good start of the season. Admittedly, it's only one game, but still, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.